Hey everyone, this is Josh Hayes here, and in this video I want to talk about the Xiegu X6100. I've owned this radio, and to be honest, I sold I didn't sell the radio, but I sent it back because it had some problems with it. However, when it worked great, I really do miss the radio. Now, the X6200 radio seems to be an improvement. It doesn't have 10 watts though, but it only has 8. But this one has 10 watts. However, the X6200 radio, it has a battery pack, with a little compartment under, like on the back of the radio, where you can like remove the battery and put another battery in. For example, if the battery fails, this radio right here, you can't really do that. So I think that's an improvement of the 6200. Now, with that being said, this radio, I have made some contacts far distance, like thousands of miles, at least 1,000 miles. Yeah, more than 1,000 miles actually, when I used my 20-meter dipole antenna with only 5 watts. But on regular 5 watts with a telescopic antenna, I've talked, I believe, all the way to, it was like Los Angeles or Las Vegas, somewhere out in California or somewhere around there. And I think it's on my YouTube channel, the contact. I think it is. Anyways, y'all, I made a really nice contact close to 1,000 miles, if not 1,000 miles, with this radio with a telescopic antenna. So it's a really good radio. The only issues I had with this radio, and some people might not have these issues, but both of my radios, the first radio that was the X6100 and the replacement X6100, the power just, it quit working, where when you try to transmit, it has 0 power. So that's not a good thing. Hopefully the 6200 radio is better. And hopefully it has less issues, because this one did have issues for me with no power, no transmit power. However, when it did work, it worked great. And it would also shut off. The radio would shut off sometimes if the SWR, if you're like at above 3 or around 3 SWR and you try to tune it, it would shut off. However, my Xiegu G90 radio, it has no problem tuning hardly anything, literally. But this one would shut off. The 6100 radio would shut off, and I just didn't like that, because my first radio did that, and then my replacement radio did that. It shut off. And I didn't like that because the first radio, I was trying to make contacts, and it's on my YouTube video about several months ago. I was trying to make a contact, and I tried to tune my radio on 40 meters, and it just shut off. And it wouldn't come back on. So that was a big problem. And until I had shore power, it would not come back on. So the X6100 radio, it's nice, but it does have problems. So at least for me, it has problems. Hopefully the 6200, can fix those problems that it had, or that it has. And I wouldn't say this is a knock on Xiegu, because I love my Xiegu G90 radio. The Xiegu G90 radio is fantastic. The G90 radio, it does have a lot more noise. It doesn't have any noise reduction, hardly at all, except the attenuator and maybe automatic gain control, which that's not noise reduction. That's just, adjusting a little bit of stuff to try to lower the noise level some. But this radio has digital noise reduction, I'm pretty sure, or NR, which is noise reduction, is what I mean. And it's just, when I had this radio, I do miss it. I'll be honest. I miss having a portable HF radio with all those bands on it and being able to talk far distance. I do miss that radio. I really do. It kind of failed me, with the power, not giving any power output, and also, just shutting off and not being able to turn it back on. Those are some issues that really need to be fixed, I feel like. Not only that, but I would like to see a waterproof, perhaps even submersible waterproof rating for a radio that's portable like this, and that has a battery pack, and also that can do a solid 20 watts on battery power itself. And if that's not possible, at least a solid 10 watts on battery power, and a battery that lasts for literally hours or days even. Like a really nice, strong battery. 20 watts on battery power that can last for days on battery power would be a great radio. Well, with waterproof and submersible waterproof rating, that would be great. And you know what else would be great? I'm going to go ahead and say it. A different antenna. Like, an antenna port, I mean. Like, as you can see there, that's a BNC connector. If we could get back the standard connector, I think it's the SO239, I think is what it is. If we can get back the standard connector, I think that would help with the ham radio to, have a more sturdy radio connector. That way, you don't have to buy all these adapters and all that other stuff. I just feel that would be the best thing. Maybe you all agree with me, with that. It's just standard, with ham radio. It's a standard connector or standard port. SO239, whatever it's called, a port, a plug, whatever it is. And I just think that would help a lot with not having to buy adapters and, all that stuff that goes into a radio accessories, such as the antenna and the cables, the coax cables. You buy usually the standard, I think it's like RGX is what I think I use. I can't remember exactly. Or RG8X, something like that. But it has the PL259 connector. As far as I know, I think that's what it is. But basically, you have the Xiegu G90, you have the Xiegu X6100, and then you have the Xiegu X6200. I hope one day Xiegu comes up with a waterproof radio, that's submersible waterproof radio, that has a solid 20 watts on battery power itself, that lasts for literally days, the battery, and it has battery packs and all that. That would be pretty awesome. That would be like the coolest radio, with all the bands, including 2 meters and 70 centimeters. And all the way up into the gigahertz bands that we have as ham radio operators. And not only that, the bands that are below 160 meters. Like all the ham radio bands, are literally an all-mode radio. Or all-band, all-mode radio. And built in like a touchscreen. And built in, I would say a built-in FT8, a built-in, basically a computer built into the radio, where it's all touchscreen, and you can use all the digital modes out there. And I would say that would be pretty cool if they can implement a way to do fusion. I know it's not a Xiegu radio, so I don't know if that would work though. But if they could implement fusion, D-Star, DMR, all of the digital voice on 2 meters and 70 centimeters. And why not have digital voice, on HF bands? I know we have some such as free DV is what one of them is, I think. I usually like the classic sideband. It sounds pretty good, especially if you have like digital noise reduction and all that. But these are just some of my thoughts, y'all. That's some of my thoughts on this Xiegu X6100 radio. I compare the 6100 with the G90 and also the 6200, which is the new radio that has not been released, I don't feel like, yet, because it's not for sale yet. They might update some information on it. But anyways, y'all, that's my thoughts. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And 73. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Thank you. God bless you.